now broken up. We're going to be on the behavior portion of the meeting agenda, right? So I kind of mentioned this at the very beginning, that since we are at a disciplinary campus, behavior is going to be probably one of, if not our most important things we have to focus on, especially outside of academics, right? How can we not only help students follow rules while they're here on this campus, but also as they transition back to their home campus, what can we do to make sure that they are successful and hopefully do not have any offenses that bring them back to us later on. So just from a overall perspective, what we're going to be looking at the question, like I said, I headed Mr. Singleton to be in charge of the meeting as the lead teacher here, because I'll be bouncing back and forth between both PLC groups. But really our goal is to find out what the overall state of behavior on the campus is. Do we see any improvements from last school year, or do we see any falls or anything like that in what's going on? Are the wristbands accurately portraying student placement, right? Our wristbands are what are representing our students' behavior. What are some of our strengths in behavior management? What are some areas of improvement? If we can make one improvement, right, when this is all said and done, what would that improvement be, right? And hopefully we can make as many improvements as we possibly can from this meeting, but it's always great to try to prioritize. What is the most important piece for us that we can work on as a team and try to do this? And then really that's pretty much it. And then any other discussion that hops out of this is great. Really, we just want to kind of get a temperature on what behavior is in this campus. So, all right, is everyone all good? So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of sit back, let Mr. Singleton start and record his notes as we go, and I will also speak in when I need to. So go ahead, Mr. Singleton.
So again, this is over behavior. I've given everybody a copy of the bullet points we're gonna be going over, and I've got a soft copy here that I can be basically recording the minutes. So I'm just gonna hopefully keep us on task. I'm just facilitating this, so I welcome everybody's input and opinion on this. You guys have been doing this a lot more than me, a lot longer than me for the most part. So the first question is the overall state of behavior on the campus. And I guess the question is, do we think it's where we want it? Is it good? Is it better this year than it was last year? Is it worse this year than it was last year? Those of you that have been here longer, what do you think?
I would say it's as good or better than in the past. Right now at this moment. Now at the beginning of the year was really rough. But I think we're doing fairly well with discipline.
Mr. Carr, you don't look like you agree.
No, I think it was a tough call. I think about a month ago is probably a better snapshot for how things are doing. Our population of kids we have right now is a good population of kids.
Right.
We're not seeing as many outrageous behaviors, but what we are seeing is I think a greater underlying sense of non-compliance and kind of trying to work the system, at least at the high school level. And I think that's got the potential of, once we get behaviors in there, of exasperating that things. I mean, the fact that we had discussions twice at one lunch at two different tables that weren't communicating. There's more of us than them. They can't stop us. Let's just have a food fight. It's about as blatant of trying to undermine the system as we can get, or the people changing points and those type of things. That has gotten better, but it's a population.
Mm-hmm. Totally. We don't have those personalities here that are doing that
Right, and I know for all of us, it's kind of different grade levels, right? Like Ms. Grisham is overseeing all the elementary school students as a teacher.
Huge improvement in elementary school students this year.
That's good. So the huge improvement, and we have some of them who have come back from the previous school year, which is good that they're seeing some improvement. Unfortunately, they did come back, but at least when they're here, they're following what they're supposed to be doing, which is, I mean, maybe it's not all of it, but it's better than they were doing it last time. Yeah, so I think from that point, I think our behavior as a campus is something that is hopefully trending upwards, but we also have to make sure that we keep the